It's TALK to KEDI Sharing knowledge, liberating minds. Hello there. Thank you so much for joining us on yet another edition of your educative online broadcast, TALK to KEDI. Yes, although we are still celebrating our 17th year anniversary, but today we'll be doing something slightly different. Yes, today we'll be talking about liver failure. Liver failure. What is liver failure? What are the warning signs of liver failure? Can liver failure be prevented? Can it be treated? What are the complications of liver failure? These and many more are the things we'll be talking about today. Stay back, relax, go nowhere. Let's do this together as always. My name is Sarah Agbavwe. Thank you for tuning in. Now, you will agree with me that an important topic must definitely be handled by a highly knowledgeable individual. You agree with me, right? Correct. So, to do justice to this topic today is no other person than our own Dr. Daniel Agbavwe. In fact, I had to call that name with enough strength. Thank you for coming today. Thank you so much. I'm pleased to have you. So can you introduce yourself quickly to our viewers?
Okay, thank you for having me. My name is Dr. Daniel Agbavwe, as she rightly pronounced it well. And, I'm an orthopedic physiotherapist, and by that standard, it gives credence to some medical expertise. So, we thank God we are 17th today, or
some days ago.
Some days ago. And it's appreciative that I've been with the company since then.
Oh, really? You deserve this. You deserve it.
The company came to production by June 2006, and I got registered on board in August.
Oh, really?
Having 10 products.
Oh.
Only. But today we have over 30 products.
Over 50 products.
Yes.
Yeah. So, don't worry. Now you know that you will be learning from we are privileged to have in our midst one of our very first distributors, and trust me, we will be learning from him today. So sit back and go nowhere. Let us learn about liver failure. Don't forget, I always say that as a KEDI consultant, you must be you must know all. You get it? Literally, you must have knowledge about almost everything, so that when you go out for prospecting and you meet some questions, you won't be blown away. You know, you won't be stranded. I say, hey, what should I tell this person? So this is another opportunity for you to learn. So please, this is the best time to call everyone you know. Send the link to your downline. Send the link to everyone you know. I beg your pardon. It is time to learn. Let us learn. So in case you're tuning in for the first time, you're wondering what is going on here, please. So where am I now? This is TALK to KEDI, and it's coming your way from the stable of KEDI Healthcare Industries Nigeria Limited, leading provider of quality healthcare products and services in Nigeria. For the past 7 years, we have been impacting lives with our quality healthcare products and our lucrative business platform. Okay, so this podcast is your the best platform for you to know about us, know about who we are, know about what we do, and then of course we also talk about other contemporary issues that have the capacity to affect your health and your business. So please stay tuned fortnightly and you won't regret it. Okay, so today our topic is liver failure. Liver failure. Do you know anyone suffering from liver failure? Okay, do you have a patient? Do you have a downline, anyone suffering from liver failure? Even if you don't know anyone, it is important that you still learn about this, so that you can use that knowledge forthwith as you go about growing your business. Now, let's go down the memory lane. Let's look at a few statistics about liver failure. Liver failure is a deadly disease that accounts for approximately 2 million deaths per year worldwide. I take that again. Annually, all over the world, we record 2 million deaths annually as a result of liver failure. Approximately 2/3 of liver-related deaths occur in men. Yes, I take that again, this time louder. Approximately, approximately 2/3 of liver-related deaths occur in men. Now, this is not to exempt women from this topic. This topic is not a gender-sensitive topic, okay? I'm only reading out the statistics. Okay, so that is why we actually deemed it fit that today, let's talk about men. Some days ago, we celebrated fathers on Sunday. It was Father's Day everywhere. Okay, so today let's talk to more of the men. Okay, but women will also learn. Okay, so this video is very important. As a woman, you can share it with your husband. Let us all learn. Okay, because according to statistics, liver-related deaths occur mostly in men. Okay, it also occur in women too. Now, in the next few minutes, we'll be going to details about liver failure. What is liver failure? What are the complications? What are the warning signs? What are the warning signs? And then how can we prevent it and treat it all together? Don't forget that you can be part of this conversation in the comment section. As soon as you tune in, make use of the comment section. If you have questions with regards to this topic, or you have other questions for Dr. Daniel, please make use of the comment section and send in your questions. And before the end of this broadcast, we will do justice to your questions. Liver failure, causes, solution, complications, and prevention. Now, Dr. Daniel, are you ready, sir?
Yes.
Quickly, because of time. Now, my first question is this: as a TCM consultant, how would you describe liver failure? Because some people watching us go, okay, liver failure, okay, like it may sound big or it may sound vague to some people. So how would you describe liver failure in the simplest terms for better understanding, sir?
Thank you very much for having me. You mentioned the fact we had the Father's Day some days ago.
Yeah.
Men are majorly the breadwinners. 90% of them are major breadwinners, and their health should be protected.
Exactly.
The liver failure would occur, especially with the tendencies of acute consequences.
Okay.
What I mean by acute consequences, the liver has a major role of detoxification, and it tends to disperse toxics, and toxins are certain things that would make the whole body to malfunction. So once the liver cannot detoxify and put aside toxics, it ends up hampering a lot of things. And the first part it hampers is the memory. You experience an impaired memory. You experience a kind of itching. You experience a kind of pain on the upper right hand, down the diaphragm of the heart. You know, I wouldn't want to go straight because I would have wanted to describe the positioning of the liver. Because there was a particular time when somebody was asked, where is the position of your kidney? And the person said it's close to the heart. So I need to describe where the liver is harbored. The liver is on the right hand side, under the diaphragm, in connection with some other organs like the gallbladder, the pancreatic, and the bile duct. So if a liver is to fail, it depends on two major incidences, either acute or chronic. But chronic makes the liver to fail suddenly, and there are certain symptoms that will come all of a sudden. One of them is impaired memory. That is to say, when toxins are not detoxified, they increase in high proportion, thereby hampering the brain. And once the brain is shut down, it's like a condition of thrombosis, which is stroke. The person becomes unconscious. But before then, there will be incidences of sharp pains on the point of the liver, and at the same time itching. A lot of things will culminate into breaking down the metabolic system, thereby making the liver to shut down and the brain shuts down along. And this can lead to coma or even death. But if there is an opportunity to send the person to the hospital, there could be a condition of transplant. But the other aspect that could make a liver shut down is the chronic. Though this one is just simply a gradual process that involves certain conditions like fatty liver, cirrhosis, hypertension, cancerous, either tumor, benign or malignant. All these put together will be x-rayed as we go on.
Okay.
Thank you.
So, sir, what are the causes? What are the causes of liver? I'm sure some people will be wondering, what are the causes of liver failure?
Thank you. Once the liver has several functions, maybe majorly 5, but it could be extended,
Okay.
over 500 functions.
Wow.
But the major functions are filtration, detoxification, anti-immunity, anti-cancer, and one major function that the liver does is hematopoietic function, in the sense that the liver produces all the blood cells, like the white blood corpuscles, the red blood corpuscles, and even to the essence of erythrocytes, thrombocytes, and certain alkalinity in the bile ducts that involve digestion of fatty foods and cholesterol. But one of those things that could really make the liver shut down is alcoholism. Alcoholism. In a case when a man drinks to spree, there is tendency that the quantity of toxins in the system rises, and thereby causing the bile ducts to get blocked due to the cholesterol gotten from that. You know, the liver at any one time processes glucose. That glucose or carbohydrate, that glucose produced in excess is converted to fat. And once those fat becomes excessive, they are stored on the lobes of the liver. And these lobes, the fatty the cells are like cholesterol, and they clog the system. And it could lead to a condition called fibrosis, that is lack of circulation around the liver. That put aside, we talk about conditions of cirrhosis. Cirrhosis is an accumulation of fatty cells that were unused by the bile duct due to blockage of the bile duct. And the bile duct, as you see, is a secretion that comes from the liver and stored in the gallbladder. And at any time there is any ingestion of food, you have a tendency of the bile secreted to mop up whatsoever fatty level. But in a case when alcoholism becomes intense, it ends up not functioning the way it's supposed to function. And if you look at the situation of cancer, cancer on its own has a tendency of shutting down the liver. The cancer may be internal or external due to infections and infestation. And sometimes it may come as a fluke. A fluke is a flat worm. And when infection becomes infestation, there's tendency that the fluke will move around to block. And once it blocks, it becomes carcinoma, that is carcinogenic.
Okay.
And thereby shutting down the system. So we talk about lifestyle. In a case when a man is the type that eats anything he sees after 7, after 8, after 9 and goes to sleep, there is tendency that there will be a stored up toxins that will end up corrupting the workability of the detoxification in the liver. So if you look at all this, you will see that how do I come out of it? Because the what is it called? The hepatic vein of the liver is in the process of storing up vitamins, minerals, and at the same time glycogen for later use. And in a case when all these problems like the cirrhosis, the hepatitis, and cholestasis comes into play, it shuts down the liver.
Okay, if I just see it, like I got so into the conversation. I'm enjoying myself, and I hope you are learning. This is still Talk to Kedi, where we share knowledge and we liberate minds. If you are just joining us and you're wondering what's going on here, we are learning about liver failure, and we have Dr. Daniel Agbavwe in the studio taking us through this very important topic. Now, we have talked about what liver failure is. In case you're just tuning in, you missed that. Don't worry, you can watch that later on. Okay, we have talked about what liver failure is, but we also looked at the causes, some common causes of liver failure. Let us now talk about the warning signs. But before I go into that, please do not forget that you can be part of this conversation in the comment section. As soon as you tune in, if you have questions with regards to this topic, or you have other health related questions, okay, please make use of the comment section and send in your questions so that Dr. Daniel can do justice to them before leaving the studio. Okay, now let's go to warning signs. Just like it is for a car, okay, you know, before a car goes bad completely, it must have been giving you some certain signs. You'll be hearing one noise at the back, or maybe at the time you'll be hearing some funny noise here and there. Okay, so no car just breaks down all of a sudden. No car just breaks down all of a sudden. It must have been giving you certain signs that you must have ignored over time. So it's the same thing for the body. Okay, liver failure, I do not think, I'm not a doctor, I do not think it just happens at once in a snapshot, or does it? Okay, if it doesn't, what are those warning signs? What are those signs to look out for? That when you start, if you are seeing these signs, it may be that this thing is coming. Okay, so what are those warning signs that one should look out for when it comes to liver failure?
Thank you very much. The liver can hardly shut down as fast as, but the acute signs would just play back in maybe 3 to 4 days.
Wow.
And that can lead to coma. But there are certain signs you will see in the acute, which are drowsiness,
okay,
confusion, impaired memory, something close to dementia, forgetfulness, you placing something here and unable to find it, thereby looking for it. Sometimes, if we tell one that the liver is interconnected with the brain, interconnected with the heart, interconnected with the kidneys, you will wonder. In its filtration system, the liver filters poisonous ammonia to urea, like the kidney does, and sends to the bladder. But in a case when the filtration is not done, fluid is retained all over the body. You see signs of swollen legs to ankle. You see signs of swollen abdomen, that's the belly. And all these signs would precipitate that something somewhere is happening to the liver. New sitting, that's your inability to eat well. Even if you eat, indigestion comes in because the bile that is secreted from the bile duct stored in the gallbladder is released to the second stomach called the duodenum for fats to be deemulsified. In a case when those digestive things are not there, the stomach wells and becomes very big and bulgy, thereby extending to the leg and the ankle, looking like an elephantiasis, but it's both legs will be affected. Now, there's one powerful thing that you will see on the cornea, that is the eye. It turns yellowish.
Okay.
It turns yellowish. And once it turns yellowish, you should know that is akin to jaundice.
Wow.
And jaundice in its own is an accumulation of a bilirubin, or a bilirubin that is supposed to have been detoxified via the bile, via the gallbladder. But since it's not functioning, it will not be detoxified, thereby welling up. And from fatty liver to cirrhosis to hypertoma, but I wouldn't want to use those technical medical words so that it wouldn't sound like as if. So the signs you are going to see once the eye, the cornea or the sclera, it's white and it becomes yellowish. Then there are times there are patches of yellow on the body. And when you look at the eyelid of some people, there's tendency that you will see that it wells up. It's like a bag. That is to say, the fatty contents in the liver cannot be regulated by the liver again. Then agitation comes, and that agitation will be likened to hyperthyroidism. Hyperthyroidism is a kind of anxiety that makes one to be uncomfortable in one place, wanting to move around. You know, if a man is about sleeping and he turns about without having a good sleep, which is insomnia, the kind of symptoms that will appear in the condition of liver failure is akin to hyperthyroidism. Inability to be attentive to something. You become anxious, you become confused. And that confusion leads to drowsiness and dizziness, and one can slump into a coma, and it could lead to death. But that's of the chronic causes. The chronic causes will come in gradually. For example, there are people who are used to eating very fat, but all of a sudden you see him not eat fat. He has a kind of lack of appetite. Because if all the enzymes of digestion, if all the hormones are not transported, if all the toxins are not detoxified, there is tendency that the person will become laggard and lethargic. That is going to be feeble, that's weak. So then you talk about cancer. Cancer itself may not start from the liver, it may start somewhere else, but it has multiplicity, ability to spread to other parts of the body. And the liver is number one, it is going to look for to hamper, because it's the site of immunity, is the site of anti-infection, is the site of defense, and there is something that the liver produces which we call albumin. Albumin is a derivative of protein that has a tendency of keeping all the nutrients, all the fluids in the bloodstream intact, so that they will not spill over on from the artery, they will not leak from the artery, they will not leak from the capillaries or venules, for effective immunity and stamina. Now, in a case when your stamina fails and you are unable to do what you used to do without recourse to things that can vitiate the immunity like typhoid or malaria, pointer would have been conclusively looked at as when you have conditions of jaundice. Then there's another condition, I may not want to spell out the medical term, where a kind of yellow patches appear on the epidermis, that is on the upper skin. Now, the person who is going to have a liver failure will end up having his palm very reddish, and
I have to check my own.
very reddish.
I'm good.
So when I say very reddish, it will look like as if circulation has propped up to the capillary. But in that case, it is as a result of the likely time of failure. So the best is to do a biopsy or an MRI, magnetic resonance imaging, or a CT scan and X-ray to see whether the liver has been enlarged beyond proportion. And you know, the way it's framed, if I were to lecture from the preamble down to the bottom, I will start describing the liver as it affects the man or the woman. The liver in the man is bigger than the woman's own.
Oh, really?
Yes. And it weighs about 1.2 kg to 1.5 kg, and is the largest amongst the visceral organ, or the largest in the body organ. So, in a case when a man grows, the liver grows up to a proportion of, let's say, 7.5 centimeter to about 10 centimeter in a woman. Then about 12 centimeter to 15 centimeter in a man. You can convert it to inches and millimeter, whichever way. That is to say that in a case when that liver gets bigger than this proportion I've mentioned, that means there's an inflammation. And such inflammation can be caused by those I mentioned: hepatitis, cirrhosis, fibrosis, carcinoma, and fluke, what have you, due to the inability of the liver to perform its function. And if a liver is about to fail, it has a interrelationship with the systolic and diastolic of the heart. So once they are interrelated, a liver failure will end up propping up even the hypertensive state of a person who is hypertensive. So if all these signs are really looked at, you will be able to conclude that so person is having a liver failure, or the liver is becoming fatty or enlarged. And one of those things that could affect the liver that is of importance to those who tend to migrate from home country to another country is hepatitis. Hepatitis is graduated into A to G, but we have an A, B, C that is much more recurrent, much more known, and A is epidemic hepatitis, in the sense that you can get that from food or from carelessness or from insanity, inability to get neat. So the major one that deals with the bloodstream is vitamin B and C. The D and the others are related to epidemic down to G. Once hepatitis gets into whosoever, he becomes dull. His eye becomes yellowish, which is as a sign of jaundice. And jaundice himself is only known to most medical personnel as when a child is just born.
Exactly.
Yes. A child just born is a downturn in biliary attrition condition. That is to say, it's either the liver is not properly formed, or is formed but malfunctioned congenitally, that is from birth. So all these things are to be looked at before one thinks of treatment. And treatment is not done when it is acute, or the best is to rush the person to the hospital, because there could be a kind of way of saving the person's life by implantation. But if it is chronic, that is when other things can be done to ameliorate it. And the liver repairs itself by itself.
Exactly.
The liver, assuming if the liver does not repair itself by itself, virtually every man or every woman would have died of liver failure. So we will explain what we can do to salvage such condition.
Alright, thank you so much, sir. This is still Talk to Kedi, where we share knowledge and liberate minds. The topic still remains liver failure. Liver failure. Share your questions with us, your contributions in the comment section. In the next few minutes, I'll be going to the comment section to take your questions and your contributions. Meet you there very soon. Okay, but in the meantime, let me take my next question. So you talked about alcoholism earlier, and then this takes me to my next question. Apart from that, Okay, are there other lifestyle factors that we should take note of, that we should avoid, okay, or that we should check, okay, to avoid, to prevent liver failure?
Sure. Apart from alcoholism, excess intake of carbohydrates can hamper the liver. Once carbohydrate is taken, there's tendency digestion will start from the mouth, stomach. But we talk about carbohydrates as eating a little of it. The condition in Africa does not support a non-ramification balanced diet. So if balanced diet is to be gotten, it will nullify the accumulation of fatty liver. Carbohydrates, when ingested, is worked on by the pancreatic juice, insulin secreted. And by the time insulin is secreted, you see that it manages the level of glycogen, but the excess of it is converted by the hepatic vein of the liver to fat.
Wow.
So even if you dodge eating fatty foods and you engage in taking carbohydrate excessively, you are going to have multiple fatty layers.
Wow. Wow.
So for that, excessive carbohydrate intake can hamper the workability of the liver.
Okay.
Then, as you will know, infections would spread.
Okay.
And if infections spread, they can hamper the liver. And if infection becomes infestation, most times I mention this word infestation. Not everybody knows what it means. Infestation is an infection that has been chronic and stayed over time, developed into a worm, either lymphatic or bile duct worms, blocking the flow of such toxins that are supposed to be exterminated and bilirubin and used salts. In a case when one does not take care, you end up having an infection that causes an inflamed liver. And that inflamed liver became very painful. So people start to talk about chest pain.
Okay.
The diaphragm, which is the rib, pains can come from it if there is a fall. But if there is no fall, it must be a pointer to the liver.
Wow.
And in that case, the best way to go about it is to reduce the quantity of food that is eaten at any one time.
Okay.
Once a man sleeps, the digestive system shuts down halfway. There are times a man wakes up and starts to feel the odor of the food he ate yesterday.
Okay. Sure.
That is due to indigestion. And that may be as a result of lack of secretion of bile due to all those things I've mentioned.
Wow.
Cirrhosis, hepatitis, and blockage, cancer, alcoholism, and what have you.
Okay, thank you so much, sir. Like you all know that when it comes to Talk to Kedi, your questions are actually more like I prioritize your questions more than the questions that I have here. Okay, so let me go to the comment section and take some of your questions. I can see your questions coming in. Please keep them coming. Okay, as I will start taking your questions now and then suspend my questions. So if you have questions for Dr. Daniel, this is the best time to send them in. Use the comment section and I will take them from here. So First question, sir, from Olalinde Rukayat on our Facebook page, and she would like to know, she said, Doctor, what's the difference between liver failure and hepatitis?
A failure is a shutdown
Yes.
of the liver functions.
Exactly.
Hepatitis is just a part. It's a viral infection
Okay.
on the liver.
Liver.
And whosoever that has hepatitis
Okay.
will be alienated from traveling abroad.
Okay.
Because one could get infested or infected with a deep kiss.
Oh.
And the whites,
I didn't know that was where you're going to. I didn't know. I didn't see it coming.
the whites prefer kissing to the other side
Okay.
of romance. So
Okay.
hepatitis is different from liver shutdown. Liver shutdown is as a result of many things put together. Hepatitis is just an inflammation of the liver and may not stop the activity of bile secretion, detoxification, or filtration.
Okay.
So it's just a part, a disease that is associated with the liver.
With the liver. Thank you. Olamide Rukaya, that is it. Another one from Julie Owe on our Facebook page said, for these acute symptoms that you mentioned, memory loss and all of that, how long would they last?
It could last within 1 hour to 2 hours.
Oh.
And for that, whosoever that loves himself should look out for these signs. Because a man who is calm and collected and gets agitated all of a sudden, a man who has good memory that places something and starts to look for that same thing, and somebody comes in and points to the thing, that what you are looking for is on the table. You know, confusion has set in, and he becomes drowsy for not related to tiredness or lethargy or feebleness or weakness. And in a case when you did not take care of all these things, it could extend to 3 hours, 4 hours, depends on other organs assisting in metabolism.
Okay.
As you know, the functionality of the liver producing red blood cells, white blood cells, and biles, other organs assist like the spleen and the kidneys. So, in that case, all the symptoms of acute, which are memory loss, impaired, lack of coordination, confusion, once they come, one should be smart enough. But before all this would have happened, I know the interconnected organs would have been bringing some signs of diabetes, hypertension, because the liver has a tendency of regulating amino acids, regulating glucose, which is related to diabetes. But before then, you would have known that the man is diabetic, the man is hypertensive. You should be able to say, okay, let's go for a biopsy or an MRI or CT scan for such a man to see whether his liver is. But I still believe that for it to culminate to acute, it would have happened 1, 2, 3 days. But when the acute effect or the shutdown will happen, it will happen in a flash. Within 1 hour and 5 hours.
Wow, that is it. Okay, so Mrs. Julia Way, that is the answer to your question. And then we have this from Yetunde Oladejo on our Facebook. We say, what are the risk factors of liver failure?
Thank you. The first is congenital. If a man is born with biliary attrition, that is to say, the liver would have been wrongly formed or abnormally formed. And for that, the functions of the liver will not be complete. It's like somebody who is born an SS must be taken care of from time to time. The liver breaks down the blood that comes from the intestines due to digestion that are transported, and it filters them against toxins. If that is the case, one must, from time to time, do a checkup on the liver. And that's the only way to get out of it. You don't wait for signs before then.
Before you do that, okay. But then that alcoholism you talk about is very, very key.
Alcoholism is a major, which will brought up, or which will precipitate to fatty liver. You may not understand it. Alcoholism, okay, let's say a bottle of beer contains hop, caramel, and barley.
Yes.
The hop in there is more of carbohydrate.
Okay.
And carbohydrate intake will sustain the man like as if he has eaten. Okay. If you know of those who have been into alcoholism, they have no tendency of eating afterward.
Yes, I know them.
Because they are filled up. But you will wonder, how come this man refused to eat? He's filled up. So the high quantity of beer or alcohol you take at any time increases the level of glycogen on the lobes. And once those lobes are having glycogen, they end up becoming cholesterol. And once the cholesterol are high, the inflammation becomes intense. And there's even no flow. There's even no detoxification. So one has to be careful in the level of alcohol taken at any one time. And if you are diagnosed of liver problems, the best thing is to stop alcohol. The best is to reduce the quantity of carbohydrate you eat. The best is to reduce the intake of off-the-counter medications like paracetamol, like non-steroidal anti-inflammatory, ibuprofen, and the others, because you are giving the liver more than enough job to do. There are times insecticides are used at home. Inhalation of such insecticides affects the liver because the liver is always there to detoxify. But when you give it an excess job to do, it packs up and it starts to reduce the efficiency. So these are some few less technical things we can talk about. Well, there are more.
All right. Okay, there are more. If you have questions, please keep sending them. I can see your questions. Now let's take this one from Tayo Adeonipeku, my regular viewer on Instagram. Thank you, ma. So our question is: can vaccines prevent hepatitis?
Yes.
Yes.
It can. You know, the most epidemic we have is malaria. If malaria is being attended to at the moment, it's because it's a plague in Africa. The R21 that has been brought, we were told he's going to mop up whatsoever Plasmodium falciparum. So an inoculation or a vaccine prevents incidences of failure. It will assist in the emulsifying and reinforcing the liver.
Okay, all right.
But apart from vaccines, we have other things that we unveil that could be of much help.
Okay, so this is from Inkiruka Onyekwe. A person that has kidney problem takes more carbohydrates. What can be done to protect the liver?
I don't think if one has a kidney problem, he will be asked to take more carbohydrates. I really don't understand. Was it a prescription or a recommendation for the person to take more
Or the
carbohydrates?
person just takes it ordinarily. Okay, so thank you, Kanye.
Give us
a follow-up response so that
reframe
the doctor
the
can
question.
help. Okay, so this is from Olamide Rukayat. What is the KEDI products for hepatitis B and liver failure? Okay, let's just take it all together. We're going to do that anyway.
Yes, there are several medications that have been brought up by KEDI earlier. Even when we were having only 10 products, we were having Reishi there. Reishi is a medication that's antivirus, and hepatitis is a viral load on the liver.
Okay.
Reishi was able to negate the development of hepatitis on the liver. But KEDI never rested. They still went ahead to bring precise medication that will deal with the liver and the visceral organs. And I was opportune to be called on some few years ago to launch another product specifically for the liver, and that is Lyric. Lyric is a super product that detoxifies the liver of all toxins, of all inflammation, and it enhances the hematopoietic function of the liver. That is to say, the higher quantity of red blood corpuscles produced, white blood corpuscles produced, enables the body to function at top gear. Lyric is a product that counteracts against even bacteria and fungi. There are times, incidences of one wanting to treat bacteria, treat fungi, but there are no products for viruses. That is why something like HIV had been a problem to us. But with Lyric, I really want to digress. Hepatitis is nowhere. It's in a pack of 30 capsules.
Exactly.
And that 30 capsules take on 3 times a day. 3 capsules 3 times a day, 9, is enough to exterminate the effect of downturn in kidneys, in liver, and even eradicates the problems of the liver. But I must put it to you that in prescribing it, I should tell you the intricacies of using it. If peradventure you are not having any condition of ulcer, I want you to use it 1 hour before food.
Okay.
1 hour before food, so that it will permeate into the bloodstream and detoxification, reinforcement, immunity booster, and what have you will be effectuated. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. Thank you. I can see your questions, please.
Though
Okay.
there are other products, but for time, you know, the bloodstream is a major. We have a hemocare that can go about reinforcing the strength of all the visceral organs, with the liver inclusive. Then, inflammation are a thing that are akin to tumor. Something like golden hypha will come in after the biopsy and after the MRI to enable us know what site is inflamed and whether the whole body is in tune. Like as I mentioned, that you could have patches of yellow patches on the body, or red palm, or other incidences of anxiety, and golden hypha will help in making sure the inflammation on the liver goes to normalcy.
All right. Okay, so please keep your questions coming in. I have totally suspended my questions to take your questions. Okay, so I can see those questions. Please keep them coming. But before I go to the next batch of the questions I have here, let me take these few announcements. The first is KEDI 2024 Car Award promo. The promo started on the 10th of June 2023. It will last till 28th of February, 29th of February, I beg your pardon, 2024. Okay, so you want to own your dream car. You want to own your dream car at no cost. Participate in KEDI Car Award promo, KEDI 2024 Car Award promo, and trust me, your dream car might be calling. Alright, so visit all our social media platforms to get the promo literature. Okay, digest the promo conditions. Many of you have been sending us messages. Okay, please go to any of our social media platforms, download the promo flyer, digest the promo conditions, and then please join the race. We are still in June 2023. We still have some months till February 2024. So please join the race and thank me later. Alright, when you collect your car now, when you come to the head office to collect your car and all that paparazzi, you will not remember that I was one who advised you. So please join the race, and then you can of course be one of our winners. Now, so the second quarter of KEDI 2023 leadership training, I have a special announcement to make. Please listen. Now, due to the holiday that we'll be having next week, okay, according to the company's training calendar, let me start like this. According to the company's new training calendar, we are supposed to have leadership training last week of every quarter. Okay, so the last week of second quarter is next week. Now, next week we'll be having a public holiday, okay, for the Muslims. Now, due to that holiday, leadership training will not hold in some of our training centers next week. It will hold in some, okay? Let me explain better. Now, the training centers who will be having theirs before that public holiday, the training will hold there. But for training centers who are supposed to have the training during that public holiday, the training has been postponed. Now, immediately after this broadcast, we will release a post to let you know which states will be having their own next week. That's which training center will be having their own next week, and which training center will be having their own in July. So please stay tuned to all our social media platforms to know which states will be having theirs next week, so that you can attend if you are in that state, and to also know which states will be having their own in the month of July, so that you can know if that is where your own state falls, you can attend. Are we together? Thank you. So please stay tuned to our social media platforms. You will get that information after this broadcast. Because of time, I would have loved to read out the states, but because of time, just stay tuned. We'll do a post so that you can just refer to the post. So if you're a 5-star consultant to 8-star consultant, please ensure to attend. Trust me, you will be glad you did. Now, KEDI at 17th anniversary sales offer is still on. Oh, it's still on. Forget the fact that we're talking about liver failure today. We are still in our anniversary month. All our anniversary activities are still on. Our anniversary promo, everything. Okay, so please, you are not here to KEDI distributor. You are watching this broadcast. We love you. You're welcome. Okay. This is the best time to register, because if you register from now till 30th of this month, you will get one KEDI Gum Care toothpaste free. Okay, if you are an existing distributor, from now till 30th of June, if you buy one pack of Memory 247 capsule, you will get one pack of colon cleanser tea free. Okay, if you buy one jar of grape meat tablets, you will get one pack of colon cleanser tea free. And there is no limit on purchase quantity. The more you buy, the more you get. You can buy as many as you want. You will get the exact number of gifts that you deserve. Okay, so please, the promo is still on. It will end on the 30th of June 2023. All editions of our KEDI Inspire magazine, all of them are available at our head office and all training centers nationwide. Please get your copy, and it is all very, very important. Bear in mind that our OPP training, OPP seminar, foundation training, product training, they all hold at our training centers and some of our regional offices every month. Okay, so please make yourselves available for these trainings. Like some of these things you are hearing now, if you attend product training, you will hear them. Do you understand? So please, it is very important to attend training. Now, don't forget that you can now watch our videos live on KEDI Care app. You can now watch our videos live on KEDI Care app. The era of waiting for someone to send KEDI video to you, that era has gone. Okay, on KEDI Care app, you now have access to all our videos. So you're yet to download KEDI Care app, please do so after this broadcast. Download, just search for KEDI Care app on your app store or Google Play Store. Click on download and that's it. Register your account and have access, unhindered access to all our videos. There's no need to wait, say, good morning, ma, please send me a promo video. No need. You have access to all our videos now. Okay, as simple as ABC. Download KEDI Care app and enjoy that exciting feature. Do not forget that all our social media platforms are active round the clock for you. Some of you do not know. Okay, on Facebook we have an account, KEDI Headquarters Lagos. On Facebook we have a page at KEDI Healthcare Industries. On Instagram we are at KEDI Healthcare_official. On Twitter we are at KEDI Health NG. On LinkedIn we are at KEDI Healthcare. We have a YouTube channel. We have a YouTube channel where we have all our videos. All our videos, okay? Just go on YouTube and search for KEDI Healthcare. Subscribe to the channel and have unrestricted access to all our videos. Don't forget our mobile application, KEDI app. Download your KEDI app today to secure your business from wherever you are, okay? And do not forget our website, www.kedihealth.com. Okay, I had to rush that so that I can go back to your questions. Let me take a few before we call it a day on this edition. This one's is fast back because our time is fast spent. Now, Olamide Korea, she's asking, what are the signs of liver failure? Doctor mentioned them earlier. He mentioned them earlier. Maybe you tuned in late. So, sir, in just 2-3 seconds, just leave us with a few signs of liver failure.
Yeah, the major signs are yellowish eye,
okay,
impaired memory, inability to think straight, confusion, pricky pain on the right hand side of the upper chest. Because if it's on the left, it's another condition that is akin to the heart, not the liver. Because you may have a chest pain if it's leftwards, it's on the heart, it's on the pericardia. Why it is once it is a liver, in a pain, it will be on the right hand side. And there will be incidences of anxiety, inability to coordinate, drowsiness, dizziness that could lead to coma. But if the person is irritated, the person is having a condition of mucosity, inability to eat and wanting to throw up or detest food, there's tendency that digestion is incomplete because even the liver is a major hub of digestion.
Okay, so I would take this myself from Julie Owe on our Facebook page. Said, I would like you to address memory loss in your subsequent edition of Talk to Kedi. Mrs. Julie Owe, we did memory loss earlier this year, right? Yes. Thereabouts in February, we did Dr. Joshua Onodugo handled memory loss. I think February, if I'm not mistaken. So you can go just check our YouTube page or check our Instagram handle. You will find the full video there. YouTube, just search for KEDI Healthcare. You will see the video on Instagram at KEDI Healthcare_official. You see the video there, or even our Facebook page at KEDI Healthcare. Just patiently go to our page, just scroll to February. We did memory loss there. Dr. Joshua Onodugo handled that topic and he did justice to it very well. So please look for that video and watch it. Honestly, you will enjoy it. Now let me move to another one. Mrs. Bena Appa on our Facebook. Please, how safe is it to combine Reshi and other products like Lyric, as you have just mentioned? How safe is it?
Yeah, it's safe to combine them, but when you have an antiviral strength in Reshi and an antiviral strength in Lyric, it's better to use one after the other.
Okay.
so that you don't overload.
Okay. Okay.
I would suggest if you are combining, if you are to treat hepatitis or inflamed liver, the best is to use lyrics or reishi separately. Either lyrics before food or reishi after food. And you shouldn't forget about the normal process of detoxification. In a bundle, if you are to treat liver problems, you should bring in a colon tea first, followed by gastrofort, which is a reinforcer of those functions of the liver, before you are going to bring lyrics and hemocare. But if you are to take them in a bundle, lyrics, hemocare, gastrofort can go together.
Okay.
But colon tea must be used away from all these medications, because it's a major detoxifier that could even reduce the efficacy of any medication. It's like margarine. Margarine cannot be combined with such medication. But in a case when the person is very big or overweight, you may bring in a higher detoxifier like margarine alongside colon tea. Margarine in the morning, afternoon, suspended, colon tea in the night after food.
Okay, all right, that is it. Now, this one, he said, yes, I think it's responding to one of your comments earlier. Said, yes, but some people take the vaccine, but it fails them. That's the vaccine for hepatitis.
Yes. Yes, the chemical reactions in the body may be different.
Exactly.
There are times when a medication for A does not work with B. I will always say that for me to treat anybody, I must take care of the person's BMI. Sometimes we increase some medications to meet up. There are times we reduce it for the body weight. If the vaccine is in a quantity that is standard and it could not meet up, everybody has a quantity that is different, like the bloodstream. The quantity of blood in somebody who is short is smaller than the quantity of blood in somebody who is big. You have a 4 liter to 5 liter. So such vaccine not working, maybe a combination of something somewhere negated the effect.
Exactly.
Because when you use medications, you must be careful. There is what we call contraindication or pharmacology. If the pharmacology is not well known, every medications they will write in the leaflet, contact the physician to know whether it will interfere or not. So something must have negated it, because if it works with somebody else and it does not work with you, you need to go and verify.
Exactly. So the last question on this edition of Talk to Kedi is from Oladele Jela on our Facebook page. What is the Kedi product for kidney problem? That is our last question.
Well, we are not dealing with kidneys now.
Exactly.
But kidney problem could lead to nephritis. And nephritis is inability to go through the process of filtration of blood and filtration of ammoniac contents, poisonous content to urea, thereby becoming urine. The best is to go for a detoxification. A detoxification, as we all know, is a bundle of about 3 products, either a colon tea or a margarine or a gastrofort. But in a case where you are to detoxify, the best is to use one at a time. Don't combine them, because there will be a clash. Then, lyrics and reaching will come to play, because it's part of the viscera. If peradventure you have used lyrics, stick to lyrics before you finish, before you go to ratio. But there is one particular thing that you may not want to, or no, you didn't remember, which is hemo care. The filtration system involves blood. The production of erythrocytes, thrombocytes, and all what have you are done there. So if you want a reinforcer to that kidneys for its functionality, hemo care will be like a tonic to it. But one major product that we use for nephritis is golden 6. Back pain due to kidney failure is one of the symptoms. When you start having back pain concurrently, the best is to stick with that tonic called golden 6. A golden 6, whether you are sick or not, will correct any problem relating to kidney failure.
Alright, and with that, we call it a day on this edition of Talk to Kedi. Special thanks to Dr. Daniel Agbavwe. Thank you so much for coming, and also special thanks to you. Thank you for watching. Thank you. Okay, special thanks to Talk to Kedi crew. Thank you so much. Thank you all for making today's broadcast a success. Till I come your way next time, I remain Sarah Adenowo. Don't forget that if you tuned in late, the full video will be on our YouTube channel immediately after this broadcast. You can find the full video on our YouTube channel at Kedi Healthcare. You can find it on our Facebook account, Kedi Healthcare Lagos. You will find it on our Facebook page at Kedi Healthcare Industries. You will also find it on our Instagram account at Kedi Healthcare _official. Till I come your way next time.